Happy Saturday, y'all. I hope that you guys had a fantastic week and that you have a even better weekend. I think when God places something on your heart that requires you to be obedient, you feel that in your spirit, and I'm currently feeling that in my spirit right now. So please bear with me if I get a little off the rails. So while we're watching this tutorial / application video, I did want to discuss something with you, which I think is really important for a lot of new nail techs, and that is how to price yourself. If you're new here, you probably don't know that. Granted, I am new to doing nails. I am not new to the cosmetology industry. I've been a licensed cosmetologist for 10 years. I specialized and focused in hair and makeup. And through the years, I have worked in salons, I've managed salons, and I've also owned my own salons. I built a hair extension business 100% on my own through my own research. I went from no sales to a little bit of sales to expecting sales every single month. So I say that all that to say that I do have experience in this industry, I do have expertise in this industry, and I have a lot to share. And so I'm going to share it today. And as always, please excuse my children making noise in the background. I am a stay-at-home mom as well as a content creator, so that just is what it is. You're gonna hear some kids. If I held the expectation to only record when it was quiet, I would never be able to record. So before we get into the juicy details and the good stuff, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. I will be releasing more videos that is sharing my expertise within this industry that will help you grow, so you definitely don't want to miss that. Like this video so I know that this is the type of content that you are looking for. It lets me know to keep releasing more videos like this and giving you guys free information. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you'd like to see next from me. Please feel free to ask any questions that are related to the beauty cosmetology industry. I love to answer questions. It's an industry, obviously, that I'm so passionate about. And if you are also an experienced stylist, please drop any gems that you have down below, anything that I missed. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that you need to understand as a beginner is the difference between experience and expertise. Experience is what you learned on the job by doing the job. And obviously the more number of years you've been working, the more on the job experience you have. And expertise is when you're doing things like continued education and certifications, additional certifications that you can get on top of your already cosmetologist or nail tech certification to improve your craft as you are still gaining on the job experience by working. They, however, go hand in hand when you are determining your pricing. This is why I always say that it is important to work in a salon. It helps you to gauge the standard pricing for a beginner, intermediate, and experienced service provider. When considering your prices, you want to pay yourself a fair livable wage, but you also need to maintain a fair pricing for your clients and speak to your experience level through your prices. This allows you to maintain an honest expectation for your potential clients. So let's get into the meat and potatoes. Before I stepped out on my own, I analyzed what my current prices were. I was working in salon and my book was full, especially on Saturdays. I'd work like 8 a.m. to 9-10 p.m. after the salon had already closed. But anyway, what I did when I was ready to leave and considering leaving, I would print out my book at the end of my day every day for a month. And the reason why I did it at the end of my day is because I often offered my clients add-on services. Being able to offer your clients add-on services is really what increases your ticket and overall revenue as a beginner. When you're gaining experience working in the salon, your commission percentage is often based on your revenue. A lot of the time that also loop in the number of clients that you have in order for you to get a raise, promotion to their next skill level so you can make more money. I can go into detail about that in another video, but for now, in my analysis, I calculated how much I made weekly, daily, and hourly. I also calculated what my current and projected expenses were monthly, weekly, and daily. This allowed me to be able to see where I am and where I need to be. I calculated that my hourly rate then was something around like $22.50 an hour. And when I calculated my expenses, it said that I needed to be at $25 an hour to maintain my expenses and then be able to also pay myself. It was exciting because that let me know I'm not far off from ownership at all, and I could safely increase my prices without compromising my clients, still remaining fair to them and remaining fair to myself. I still have the notebook to this day of my calculations. So after that, my next step was to write down all the services that I wanted to offer. I wrote down what services I wanted to offer and how much they currently cost while I was still working at the salon. I then increased each service by 5, some by 10 to 15. The ones that I had much more experience in, like corrective color and hair extensions, I raised those prices by like $10 to $15. Things that you specialize in, you definitely want to charge for. And when I say specialize, I mean you have gone out and you have continued education in these areas that you are specializing in, because again, you're specializing in that service. So once I had my new prices, what I did was I took those schedules that I had printed out for the month and I made a mock schedule as if this were the same schedule that I would have working at my salon. I needed to test if these new price increases would place me where I needed to be with a cushion for my expenses. The reason why I say cushion is because you want a cushion. Every month isn't the same. When you're working in the salon, having to build your book, you see that. And when you're working in somebody else's salon, you have the safety of them paying the bills and not you having to pay the bills. When you're owning your own salon, everything is on you. Every unexpected expense, that is on you. Nobody else is going to pay that but you. So you need to plan for that. If you are a beginner, some things that you need to know: you do not or should not set your prices equivalent to a intermediate or experienced service provider just because that's what you want to make. If you want to make what they make, then you need to put in the same work that they put in. Additionally, if you are having to charge prices that are outside of your experience or expertise level, that really speaks to that you are not in the position to maintain a business. Even if you have the clientele, you are not going to retain clientele if you are charging them expert level prices and providing beginner level work. I also want to add that when I was calculating my revenue that I was making in order to be able to see if my revenue would be able to take care of my expenses, I'm talking about the business expenses, not my own personal expenses. Your business expenses and your personal expenses are two separate things. When I stepped out on my own, I took a huge pay cut, and when you step out on your own, you have to be prepared for that same thing. Please trust me when I say, do not step out there on your own if you have nothing but clientele and first month's rent and that security deposit for that salon space. Whatever your monthly expenses were that you calculated, you need to have that in a savings account, business savings account, to weather you through the storm for at least the next 3 months after you step out on your own. I would say 6 months if you really can, wait that long to save. You want to do that so you can pay your bills from your business account. And when you are earning commission from your services, you're able to pay yourself your commission percentage from your services and then put that other portion that goes to your business in your business account. So for example, before I had left the salon I was working at, I was making 64% commission, which means they paid me 64% of my sales over the course of 2 weeks, and they kept 26% to put towards the salon business so they could pay bills and get products, supplies, all of that. So I really hope all of this was helpful and informative to you. Again, if it was, let me know down in the comments. Please feel free to ask questions down in the comments. This is a very safe space. And so with that, I'll let you finish watching the rest of this application video. I really thank you so much for watching, and as always, I hope that God blesses you in the same way that He's blessed me.